Hi guys. So I know it's Monday and we usually do this on a Tuesday, but the game that we're gonna play has maintenance up tomorrow, so I thought I'd bring it up a day early so that we could actually play it. And what the heck happened there? Ignore that. That was my mouse moving everything. Don't understand what happened there, but everything just shifted. So, hi Stitch. It's good to see you. But yeah, so we've moved it a day earlier so that we can actually play some Star Wars: The Old Republic. It seems to be having quite a few updates recently, so just trying to get on it when we can, basically. But we'll be jumping back into the galaxy far, far away. I've messed with the music volume as well, so do let me know if you can still hear it and stuff. I'm hoping that works out. But yeah, how's everybody's week been then? It's going great, thanks OJ. How's it going for you? I've not really been doing much, just watching a few animes, really. Got through quite a few of them. And then, yeah, that's good to hear. Done anything exciting? I've just been trying to avoid the heat, to be honest. It's been quite warm in England, and I don't do too well with British heat. I don't understand why, but when I go abroad, it's completely different. I'm fine with holiday heat, as I call it, but British heat wipes me out. No good at it whatsoever. It like kills me. Oh, that's good to hear, Stitch. I'm glad that you did well. I'm glad that your walk went well. It was for cancer research, wasn't it? A walk. I think you said. So good cause to support. I'm glad that everything went well, and I'm sure you did make your Nana very happy. Sorry, I'm still a bit waking up a little bit. Just waiting for my brain to kick in, if I've even got one. But yeah, so shall we jump on over to Star Wars: The Old Republic, and see what we're gonna get up to in there? I've just learnt, because I am a bit dense sometimes, that drops are enabled on this. So if you do have your Star Wars: The Old Republic account linked to your Twitch account, you should be able to get something by watching this stream or other streams that have drops enabled for Star Wars: The Old Republic. but might be a bit biased. I hope you stick around to watch this one. Let's give it the... Might help if I had it set to the right game. All that prep work that I did, and I didn't even have it set to the right game. Okay, so we've got some quests that we need to complete. We've got the call to arms. And then we've got... Sorry about that. Sorry if you heard an echo. I've just sorted that out, so there shouldn't be an echo anymore. But yeah, what were I saying? So we've got some quests we've got to sort out. We've still got the first strike, we've got the call to arms, or we've got the immediate vengeance. Oh, was it just in my headset? Right, okay. I think there was like feedback from my mic going into my headset, so it sounded like it was echoing to me. I didn't know if it had gone through to you guys, but I've removed it anyway. So that should be sorted, even if it wasn't on your guys' end. So which missions do you think we should undertake? Should we go to first strike? Not really, no. Should we do that? First strike. Right, we'll get first strike done then.
You are sort of insane. You know that, don't you? What did I do?
I just want to talk to you.
Something else, yeah?
Okay. To Ilum, the home of the Kyber Crystal. And let's go do my favorite thing. Speeder. Right. Oh, 100% just because of the pure aura, and it's my favorite Star Wars battle in the entire franchise. It has got to be Mustafar. Mustafar is my favorite Star Wars planet, OJ. Like, the entire aura of a lava planet where our heroes, Anakin, the hero without fear, and Obi-Wan, the unbreakable defense, battle. Because Anakin has betrayed everyone. It's just... It's the magnum opus. There's a reason Obi-Wan, Anakin has Vader builds his palace on
Republic forces approaching. Man the defense.
Mustafar. Sorry, I was trying to figure out where I needed to go. You see what I mean? Like, why didn't he do that? Why didn't he do that? Why did he have to be such an idiot and be like, you underestimate my power? No, they did not underestimate your power, Anakin. They did not underestimate you in the slightest, mate. You underestimated yourself. I understand that Obi-Wan Kenobi had a force shield, but you are the chosen one. It said you would bring balance to the force, not leave it in darkness. Or, you know, whatever Obi-Wan says. Even though I personally think Obi-Wan Kenobi is wrong. I don't think it means that at all. How can there be balance without darkness? Yeah, you're probably right. He wanted to show off. He is. Have you seen the aura farming Darth Vader does? There's no way that Anakin wasn't trying to aura farm on Obi-Wan, being like, hey, you know your move, the one you used on Darth Maul? Yeah, I can do it too. He was trying to say that he'd surpassed him, I think. That he no longer needed him. That Obi-Wan was beneath Anakin. No, he didn't. But Anakin thought that he had. Because that's how arrogant Anakin had become. That's how arrogant the dark side had made Anakin. He was so arrogant that he thought he was above Obi-Wan Kenobi's teachings. And didn't even think, like, maybe trying the move that guy did that made him a Jedi Knight might not be the best decision, Anakin, because, you know, he's had time to process it and understand how to counter it if he was ever in the situation that he put Darth Maul in.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Like, it's pure dark side arrogance. That's all it is. Anakin believed he was untouchable because he was the chosen one. Failing to take into consideration that he wasn't really that special.
Ow, that hurts.
Yeah, Anakin could 100% beat Darth Maul. Like, Ahsoka says it best herself when she faces Darth Maul in the Clone Wars final season. When she trounces Darth Maul. And she says, because he was waiting for Anakin to show up, she's like, you're lucky that General Skywalker didn't show up. And the point is, she's right. Because if Anakin... If Ahsoka, not to like diminish Ahsoka's capabilities, but if Ahsoka was able to defeat Darth Maul on her own, pretty much, yeah, she had the Mandalorians, but she had no other Jedi support on her own, then there's no way, in my mind, that Anakin, the Chosen One, war hero and general of the Republic,
Nobody better mess with us now.
would not be able to defeat.
We go again. We go again.
Where'd she go? Where'd my healer go?
You're good to go. Dying here.
I think she keeps dying. If Anakin beat Obi-Wan on Mustafar, then Star Wars would be drastically different. Because he would have taken Padme. There's no doubt in my mind he would have... She's passed out. So he would have taken her... He would have got on her ship. And he would have taken her with him.
Here we go again.
And he would have flown back to Coruscant to report that the to Palpy that the Seps were dead. That all the Separatists had been killed. And then he would have, like, tried to help Leia give birth. I also think that that's when she would have died, though. Because I'm not too great. I've died quite a few times. So,
All clear issued. The cowards are turning tail.
to be honest, the thing is, there's one thing that a lot of people, in my opinion, overlook when it comes to Padme. They always say that Padme was righteous and just and would never have, like, gone along with the Empire. And yeah, I get that. I get that she was for diplomacy over thingy, but she literally decided to date Anakin and marry Anakin after knowing that he slaughtered younglings and children before they got married. The Tusken Raider children. She overlooked that for some reason. And I don't feel like that gets enough attention. Like, yeah, we want to all believe Padme would have sided against the Empire. Especially because there's the deleted scene of her siding with Mon Mothma, and it is a valid crash out, but on the men. But the children didn't do anything wrong. They were innocent. Whereas Anakin specifically tells everybody that he did it to the men, the women, and the children too. Hi, crazy chick. I feel like Padme wouldn't have been this beacon of light that we all hope she would be for Anakin. I think she loved Anakin too much. I think that's the problem. I think she overlooked too many of his flaws to be objective about him. I know what you're saying, but I get it from Anakin's point of view, but what I'm coming at is from Padme's point of view. From Padme's point of view, those children, like the Padme that the fans seem to have in their head, from that version of Padme that the fans seem to have in their head, those children were innocent. So she shouldn't be okay with that. Yet she is.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the fan consensus of this woman is completely off from what we actually get, in my opinion. She's actually kind of psychopathic when you think about it. She dates a known murderer, and she's the only one besides Obi-Wan that he tells about this. True. In Star Wars, if I was to play a character in Star Wars, my favourite character in Star Wars to begin with is Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's why I own his lightsaber and why my dog's named Obi-Wan. I mean, if I got to play any character in Star Wars, I'd probably want to play Yoda. That dude's high all the time. We can agree to disagree on that, OJ. I think Vader is awesome. I think Anakin's a whiny asshole.
You're good to go.
No, I guess not. But, like, the movies are. And a lot of people's perspective is just the movies. Not a lot of people actually watched the show. Which I think is unfortunate. Because the show is amazing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's the thing. A lot of big Star Wars fans have watched it. Like, I know that I've seen it. Seems like you have as well. My dad's watched it, and stuff like that. But then I know a bunch of people that I've talked to that like Star Wars that won't watch it because it's animated, and I'm like, but that's so wrong, because. And you may disagree with me here, guys, but some of the best things to come out of Star Wars have been their animated projects.
You're good to go.
Especially since Disney took over, some of their best projects, some of the best things that they can do are animated. They're a lot like how I would describe DC used to be. Legends is better, but that's just because they delved into things a lot more, and they like fleshed out Luke beyond the original trilogy. I agree to an extent. Like, nothing will top the original trilogy, because without it you don't get any of this. So, like, nothing can ever really top the original trilogy. But when you take a look at the prequels, yeah, they're not as bad as what a lot of people made out. But the best parts of them do tend to come from the last film. Oh yeah, the nostalgia factor is in play when it comes to the original trilogy. And for me as well, because I was born in 1999, for the prequels.
All better.
It's literally a part of, like, what I grew up with. No, it probably isn't, but the thing is, even without nostalgia, you've got to look at it through the lens of the other projects wouldn't even exist if this one hadn't have been made first. That's the way I see it. And my favourite will always be, and it is nostalgia. It is nostalgia that leads to this. But my favourite Star Wars film will always be Empire Strikes Back. And that's because my granddad and dad made me watch it the right way, in my opinion. And that's, I watched it without knowing that Anakin was Vader. So I got to experience that moment of I am your father, completely oblivious. Which a lot of people don't, thanks to the internet and parodies and stuff like that. But being able to go in blind and experience that entire scenario completely blind, it just feels amazing. But I feel like you could say that about a lot of stuff. Like for example, when you look at the Dark Knight trilogy, the first film isn't great, but the other films wouldn't be made if it wasn't for... I see what you're saying. But even with the Dark Knight trilogy, like, yeah, the Batman Begins is probably the weakest of that trilogy, but it's still a good movie. I could still watch Batman Begins.
You're good to go.
And I think that's how I judge it. Could I still watch it? Like, even if it's not like the best that its series has to offer, could I still watch it? And if the answer is yes, to me it's a good movie. Because of course there are better options, like CGI wise, for Star Wars. You can't fault some of them. And I'm gonna say it, I'm probably gonna be one of the only people that's gonna say this. But I like Force Awakens. I like The Force Awakens. They ruined it with the next two. Because they sort of set stuff up. That got tossed away. But then they tried to overcorrect, which kind of ruined the whole trilogy. They should have just tried to fill in the blanks to make it all connect without overcorrecting. But the first one of the sequels, I like it. I get why you'd like Revenge of the Sith over the others though. Because my ranking, and it only edges it out because of nostalgia, is Empire, Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, and then don't crucify me, Star Wars fans, but Phantom Menace, Return of the Jedi. I like Phantom Menace more than I like Return of the Jedi. I'm sorry. And it is because of Darth Maul. There's a reason I'm playing as Zabrak. Attack of the Clones. And then the first sequel trilogy and then the rest of them. So even though I like Force Awakens, it's not up there. It's not up the top. And Attack of Clones is near the bottom, but just because, well, it's not bad, but it's not the best Star Wars film either. Like, A New Hope is clunky, but at least you can say that that's because of how old New Hope is. And I know that Phantom Menace is 26 years old, but like, not Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones is old now too, but like, at the time it was still clunky. See, I'm glad I'm not the only one, Stitch, that likes Phantom Menace. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's very political. But I actually don't mind that. And I think Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn is one of the best characters we've got in Star Wars. So, yeah, see, Phantom Menace gets a bad rap, but it does give us some great characters like Qui-Gon, Darth Maul. I wish he had more screen time too. I feel like they could have kept him around and then killed him off at the beginning of the Clone Wars. I don't feel like there was any real need to kill him off in the first film. Like, instead of having Obi-Wan get captured by Dooku, it could have been Qui-Gon, and he could have been executed, and that Qui-Gon's death is what kicks off the Clone Wars. I feel like that's something they could have done. But, yeah, I won't go that far, Stitch, but, I do like your appreciation for it. At the end of the day, each to their own, but, it's got good moments. Qui-Gon and Anakin. The pod race scene is great. I love the Duel of the Fates at the end. That's amazing. But then it's got bad moments too. And while I don't find him as annoying as other people do, Jar Jar Binks. The fake out queen, even as a kid, I kind of thought that was a bit obvious. Like, it looks like Natalie Portman, and then it's revealed that it's Natalie Portman. It's like, yeah, that was kind of obvious. Did these really smart Jedi not figure that part out? When they were like, Senator Amidala, how is that you? I'm like, how did you not know that that was Padme? Looks like we're gonna have to go to the medical bay again. Well, Maul did fight Dooku in Clone Wars. And lost. So, there's your answer. Dooku. No, I'll be more precise. It would be Count Dooku, and it's because that Maul is too ferocious, too animalistic, whereas Dooku is measured and precise. He doesn't do it half-heartedly. He doesn't swing recklessly. He chooses each move that he makes carefully and precise. And even though Anakin wins to over Count Dooku in Revenge of the Sith, what a lot of people overlook, because I saw it the other day as well, like, how did Obi-Wan get beaten by Count Dooku, but then go on to beat Anakin when Anakin beat Count Dooku? What a lot of people overlook is Count Dooku intentionally lost that fight. Because he was told by Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine, to lose the duel on purpose so that they could use it as a way to turn Skywalker to their side. And then Palpatine betrayed Dooku by having Anakin execute him. So, it's not like Anakin won that fight all on his own. Which does get overlooked quite often. Because although Anakin wouldn't want to admit it, his and Maul's temperaments are very similar. They're both very animalistic in combat. Very predatory. They both channel their pure rage into their attacks. Oh, Maul is definitely more chaotic. But when you look at Clone Wars era Anakin before he lost and realized that he needed to be a bit more measured. Like, just looking at Clone Wars era. He was completely and utterly fueled by his anger whenever he swung his lightsaber. It's what gave him the power and the ferocity he needed to defeat his enemies. So while Maul is definitely more chaos, he also becomes more controlled throughout the Clone Wars. Especially after meeting Savage Opress.
Nobody better mess with us now.
His brother. That's better. Uh, Obi-Wan Kenobi's stance is my favorite. Form 3, Sarisu. Because it's all about defense. It's all about tiring your opponent out. To be honest, to me, it feels a lot like Form 5 then. You prefer Form 5. See, with Obi-Wan's, I feel like it's a lot like Muhammad Ali's rope-a-dope. Yeah, see, we're on the same page. I've always seen it as very rope-a-dope-esque.
Nobody better mess with us now.
He uses a variation of Form 4, which is what Master Yoda uses. Which is all about like moving and being very acrobatic. And then he finally realizes that that's not actually any good for him specifically. Mace Windu uses a variation of Form 7, which is usually only reserved for the Sith, but he created his own variation of it called the Pod, which allows him to channel the dark side energy of his own opponent and deflect it back onto them, increasing his own physical power and strength. It's all about, rather than him using his own power, he's using yours against you. So the more you strike him, the more he is able to deflect it back onto you. That's what the Vapod's about. I feel like that's what's happening with Cal Kestis, yeah. I feel like throughout it all, you're learning all of them. Because when you're using the double-bladed lightsaber, you tend to be using what I feel is like Form 4. Because you're flipping, you're jumping about, you're spinning the saber. Whereas when you're using like the crossguard, Kylo style, you're using a variation of Anakin's very heavy swings, strong, powerful strikes. Then when you use your gun and sword, you're using just a very basic Form 1 stab motion. And when you use just your lightsaber, you seem to be using a dueling technique, kind of like Form 2, like what Count Dooku uses. I haven't really seen Cal use Obi-Wan Kenobi style yet. But then again, Cal seems to always be on the aggressive rather than on the defensive. Yeah, I mean, Palpatine mastered all 7 forms of lightsaber combat, even though he sees lightsaber combat beneath him. You've got Yoda. I believe Yoda has mastered all forms of lightsaber combat. I think Mace mastered all forms of lightsaber combat before he invented the pod, but I could be wrong on that. So If you've got more knowledge on that in chat, let me know. But I do know that Palpatine specifically mastered all forms of lightsaber combat, even though he detests using a lightsaber as a, basically, and excuse my French for this, as basically a fuck you to the Jedi, because it's their signature weapon. To be honest, how petty does Palpatine have to be to just master the lightsaber and all its forms just because he hates the Jedi so much?
Nobody better mess with us now.
Oh, the Empire, 100%. Especially seeing as though it was supposed to be a stand-in for America. George Lucas outright said that the rebels were inspired by the Vietnamese from the Vietnamese War, and that makes the Empire like America and its allies during that war. I just like the idea that George Lucas saw like all establishments, not just America, but like America, England, big countries, as bullying little countries just because they had a resource they wanted, and took that and was like, all right, how can we promote this message? But in a way that people won't get mad at me for saying it, and so created Star Wars, which became a cultural phenomenon and classic. Yeah, I love it when media does that, to be honest. It's good when they, like, take a political stand, but not in a very political... obviously, Star Wars is very political, but what I'm saying is, like, they take a political stance, but not in a overtly realistic political way. So, like, they're saying that it's not good to have a fascist country, or it doesn't even have to be fascist, or a big country that rules over everything, because then freedom is the last thing that can be taken. But there will always be those that fight for freedom. When you put it another way, Star Wars is about us. When you look at it from the Empire's perspective, when you watch Star Wars and you're rooting for the rebels to win over the Empire, when you look at it from the Empire's perspective, we're rooting for the terrorists.
You're good to go.
How do I keep dying? I've got a healer. I don't understand how I keep dying. Dying. Like, is she not healing me? Is she not switched on to heal me or something? Oh, is that what's happening? Well, we can wait for the probe. I'm not going all the way back there. It's annoying to have to drive all the way back. So, what's your favorite then? Empire or Separatists? They're just the most iconic, aren't they, really?
You're good to go.
Oh no. We have a small problem, guys. The lightsaber broke.
Please use all products only as intended.
You're good to go.
The Knights of Ren were a very cool concept. Very cool in concept. In practice, not so much. Mainly because they didn't really do anything, and as advertised, it was hoped, or at least it was hoped by me, that they would have had their own lightsabers, but when they showed up, they didn't. I was kind of hoping that they were going to be like Kylo's version of the Inquisitors. They were going to be Force users that he took with him when he left the Jedi Temple. Like ex-Jedi. Like Kylo. But Kylo was just the strongest.
All better.
It didn't seem to really be the case.
Here we go again.
Yeah, no, that's what it feels like to me. Like they changed their mind for whatever reason. I don't know why they decided against doing it that way.
Here we go again.
It was odd to me.
You're good to go. Here we go again.
Huh? I literally just spawned in. How did I die straight away? It should be active. What?
You're good to go.
Sup, Portia? Nice to see you. Silver hand, silver hand, silver hand. I don't get that, but I read it out anyway. I'm good, thank you. Just been doing some of this really, and dying a lot. I don't understand what's going on with the healer. OJ says she's not selected or something, but I can't seem to figure out what's going off with it. Thank you for lurking while you were doing your house stuff, though. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. Maybe. I don't know.
You're good to go. Here we go again.
Why is she just stood there? I would, but I'm frozen.
again.
She is a good companion, yeah. I kind of froze there. I don't know why.
Red, we've been hit! Raise the shields and get this transport operational!
Here we go again.
Got it. Yeah, it must just be a glitch. It is an old game. That will happen occasionally. If I was in the Star Wars universe and I wasn't a Jedi or a Sith or anything, and I had to do a job, then I'd probably want to be like a pilot or something. Although you guys have seen my flighting skills on Battlefront 2, so I don't know how good that would be. Yeah, Bounty Hunter does sound cool as well. But then again, you've also got, you ain't got to just worry about like the job. You've got to worry about getting double crossed by other bounty hunters. Especially like depending on what era you're in. Imagine getting like you're in the right era, and you get double crossed by people like Cad freaking Bane or Boba Fett. I know, but they were doing my head in. That's my fault. Ah. I don't even know if I'm going the right. I'm not. If I could live anywhere in the Star Wars universe, it'd probably be Naboo. It's the prettiest looking planet. Like, my favorite planet, like I said, is Mustafar, but it's not the most habitable. The prettiest looking planet and the nicest place to live, in my opinion, would either be Naboo or Mandalore. But I suppose Mandalore would suit you better if you wanted to be a bounty hunter. Like, you'd just be like the Mandalorian from the show. Well, you could have if you were a Mandalorian, you could have all sorts made out of Beskar. Beskar armor. You'd have Beskar helmet. You'd have those whistle things that Din has on his thing. You'd have a rocket pack. As well as a jetpack. And you don't know, if you got super lucky, you might even get the Darksaber. Yeah, you'd probably want like a sniper, like what I forgot her name, but like what that woman uses that works with Boba Fett. This motherfucker's healing himself. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna get rid of these. I think working for both would be a good idea. Like, that way, I mean, I know we know how the movie ends, but imagine you were born in the Star Wars universe. You have no idea how this is going to end.
All better.
Like, you're a bounty hunter. You don't know how any of this is going to shake out. I think your best option is to work for both sides of the aisle, because that way, no matter which way it shakes out, you've made allies on both sides. Yeah, that would be so cool. I mean, we had someone in chat a few weeks ago that apparently does Star Wars D&D game. I think they joined the Discord, so maybe talk to them if you're really into it. As well. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to figure out why I'm being silly and going the wrong way. Oh my god. How many Jedi do I have to fight?
Think you scare me?
I know it's a Jedi camp. It was a rhetorical question. Eat lightning. Jedi scum. These mother truckers are healing each other. Fuck you, force push. Yeah. Yeah, playing as Vader would be cool. But you'd have to have a patience bar rather than a health bar. Oh, it's going alright. It's just I'm annoyed at the fact that I'm fighting Jedi. Because they seem to have the ability to heal themselves and it's kind of annoying Stitch.
You think you scare me?
I know, and I'd be alright with it if they didn't have this magic ability to heal themselves. And I know, they're space wizards. Of course they've got magical abilities. I'm just saying that it's annoying. That's all. Yeah, I think that would be... I think that'd be cool. Like, obviously, if you had Vader in a campaign, you wouldn't be able to kill Vader off. Unless you were saying, this is an Elseworld campaign. Or an Elseworld story. Anything that happens to Lord Vader here doesn't happen in the main timeline or something like that. That would be the only way that it would work. Stop firebombing me. It's not very Jedi. It's not very Jedi of them to keep firebombing me, is it?
Need help. Galaxy's about to be down 1Q3 left. Help me. Ow, that hurts. If I die, I'm going to haunt you.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Let's take a breath. We can do this. We're almost at the objective. I'm going to take a small break, and when I come back, we'll complete this bit. I'll be back in a minute, guys. But yeah, I think that would be really cool. I think instead of hearing the metal clanking, you should just hear the breathing and then the lightsaber igniting. And that should be it. So I will be back in a moment, and then we will complete this and get this part done. I see you guys in a moment. Hi guys, I'm back. So, we'll jump into that in a second and make sure everything's... and try and manage that. Do let me know if you can hear the music, because I did realise that I hadn't changed it over when we were in the game scene. So, hopefully it does work now. But, yeah, we'll go back over to the game in a second. Just let me get everything situated. Nice cup of tea. Right. There we go. Why is it? So for some reason it logged us off. Let's hope it doesn't mean that we're... Let me know if you can't hear the music, by the way, because I did realize that it wasn't actually going through. Right, let me try this then. Is it coming through now? Right, okay. It was an issue through Spotify, which I've had to rectify. Just what it wasn't loud enough. Thank you for letting me know, OJ, about that. I'm sorry you guys didn't get the music for the first half. So me dancing that little bit, when I was dancing that little bit, might have looked a bit odd now. Because you guys wouldn't have seen why I was doing it. Hi. Nice to see you. Welcome to the community. I haven't actually tried this game on controller. I wasn't aware you could actually play it on controller. But yeah, I think thank you, OJ, for helping out their our new friend. So it could be. I had a similar issue on a different game where it weren't blended properly, so the controls weren't working. I had to go in and mess about with it with some help from other friends that play on PC more regular than I do when I first started playing on PC. So it could be that's what it is. Yeah, it was the same when I tried it on Marvel Rivals the first time. Certain keys weren't working the way they were supposed to until I checked it out. And I get what you're saying. When you're used to playing certain types of games on with a controller, it is easier. I couldn't play Rivals properly without a controller.
You're good to go.
I'm sorry to hear that you've been struggling with this for so long. I'm glad that we could help you out. And like I said, thank you for doing that, OJ. I'm glad that we've got this type of community that's willing to help out people that are struggling. I understand that it can definitely be frustrating, especially when you've got no one to help you. So, I'm glad that you found someone that can help you with it. No problem. Thank you again for popping in and asking the community for help. Enjoy the game. It's a very good game. I enjoy playing it. I played it when I was in high school, and I've recently come back to it for stream. Chat voted on it, and I'm glad they did. It was our their choice for Star Wars Day, and I'm glad we decided to do it and continue playing it. Yeah, I did get it from Steam, yeah. Enjoy your trip into the Star Wars galaxy from long past. Ah! They're ganging up on me! That's a really awesome choice, so I'm assuming you're gonna go bounty hunter then. I love playing with the dark side, as you can see with us playing Sith.
You're good to go.
That's a really cool idea. That's a really good idea, to be honest. Especially for like first playthroughs. I'll tell you something, one of the things that I found the hardest on a first playthrough was learning all the different Force abilities. So going for a non-Force using type class. They're the not to bag on people that like to play Jedi, because I know there are people out there that do like to play Jedi, but for me personally, I don't find the Jedi in this game that fun. The missions aren't as entertaining, whereas like the choices you get to make as a Sith, the storyline is quite entertaining. You get to see where, like, the true path of the dark side, like before Sidious and Vader and all that stuff. Plus, you can be ruthless and have no consequences, really. I personally tried Jedi when I was a bit younger, and I just didn't find any enjoyment in that skill set. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't say the Jedi aren't haven't got a good storyline or anything like that. I'd just say it wasn't really for me. I just don't find their storyline as entertaining as the Sith. I think it boils down to the most that we know a lot about the Jedi. Star Wars likes to focus on the Jedi quite often.
Is there trouble, Master?
No, my guests have simply arrived sooner than expected. Rest assured this
We've got it. We're finally at the end of this mission. But for this specific build, I didn't actually choose this character, chat did. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing good guy. My favorite D&D classes are cleric or wizard, and I tend to play it like more close to the good side. Whereas you'd think with me playing Sith a lot on here that I'd be more akin to wanting to play Warlock. Yeah, you can definitely make good choices as a Sith. That's one of the things that I like about this game. That you're not locked into evil and good just because you've chosen to be a Jedi or a Sith. There's an alignment system. Based on the choices you make, depends where you fall. Kind of like Baldur's Gate, if you've ever played that. So I chose to attack when I was given the option right now. But if I'd have chose a different path, I could have had a good guy option. But we're playing pure Sith build, because when we created this character, that's what chat decided. So all my choices are based on that. And I had chat decide that from the get-go, so that I didn't have to keep asking every time a choice came up what choice we were making. I'm not being funny, chat, but was that supposed to be the boss fight? Because I'm sure the guards that we had to fight to get to him were harder to deal with. I know, but it under-levels me for the fight. Like, it's put me down to level 50. So... I'm just saying that the guys that was protecting this dude hit harder than he did. That is true. I do have pretty decent gear. So... from the other things that we went and did before we went to do this. I just found it funny that, like, we died all those times to the people that were just supposed to be there guarding this guy. and we kind of, I wouldn't say one-tapped the boss, but we took him out pretty well. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The one thing I will say is it's also kind of like once you get into the story, you don't want to stop playing it. You want to see where everything's going. Yeah, I mean you can get a version of it. I've heard it's a bit lesser than what we can play on here, but you can get a version of it for the Switch, which take as you will. But I've heard that it's not as good as the version that we get like on the computer and stuff. I don't blame you for going out and getting a laptop to play. Even though it's an old game, they seem to keep it up to date as well. Yeah, I get that. I 100% get that. Like, that's when I was told it was on the Switch. I've got a Switch, but when I was told it was on the Switch, I said I wasn't gonna get it for the Switch, especially when it's not like the full experience, because like it just don't feel right, does it? Like, especially for yourself, when you've waited this long to play it, you want the full in-game, in-depth experience that everyone else that's played the game has got to experience at this point.
Thought I was enough, yeah, feels like half a century ago. Guess you keep coming back after telling me off, without even feeling sorry between goodbye and hello again. Thought we could grow again, how about no again, again. I'm trying to tell you we can't be friends.
Right, let's use the fast travel ability that we've got. Right, there. There we go. You do. It's awesome. Ah! Well, I misjudged that. I mean, you don't have to pay. There is a level cap if you're not a subscriber. I don't actually subscribe, so I've reached a level cap, which is 70. so I'm not 100% sure how much it is. But it's not actually that hard to find when you get to the when you log in. Basically, it'll be all on the service. In fact, I can check. I do like this as well. There's the cartel market, which means you can buy stuff. So like you said, you like the Mandalorian, so you can buy things like this, but you don't have to. So it's like one of those old classic games where you can buy stuff, but it's not pay to win, which I like. I can't actually find it right this second. But basically, when you're on the main page, there should be a thing that'll tell you how much it'll cost. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there are some things that are like very, very, very late. Like, I've got access to all this and I don't subscribe. But there are some things that will be locked. So like that's what the whole where is it? I know there is a there, so like here, Knights of the Eternal Throne. That's subscribed content, which I don't have. But if you look, I have this, the interlude. I need to unlock it, but I do have access to it. It's not subscribed content. Shadow of Revan. So if you've heard of Darth Revan, you get that without subscribing. Knights of the Fallen Empire, that's all yours without subscribing. It's just once you get beyond that. So like kind of like DLC content, really. So I need to complete this before I can unlock this. When I've completed that, I'll unlock that, and then I'll be able to go through that, and that. So you get 3 eras for 3, and then you have to subscribe. And there's a lot of content in each and everything. Like, and to be honest, the one that most people get super excited about is this. This is the one that a lot of people want to play, because a lot of people love Darth Revan. And you get that without subscribing. In fact, I think, where is it? Call to Arms. It is actually like the beginning of the Darth Revan thing, because I just accepted that. And that's loads of stuff that I haven't even like accomplished yet. And I jumped to level 70 because I had points saved up. So I was able to create a character already at level 70, which is why it keeps pushing me back when I do certain missions. And that was chat's decision to do. So you've got hours upon hours of content. So yeah, I'd be getting more and more excited if I was you too. Before that you even have to think about subscribing. And then the rest is just cosmetics. There's no pay. With it being such an old game, thankfully, there's no pay to win. But you get banging outfits even without paying for it. Like, I found this wandering around and doing side quests. And that's half it. Oh, that would be sick. Like, I mean, you get... I've got that as well. Like, that is... all black Sith armor. And I unlocked that through doing the game. And as soon as I get another lightsaber crystal, we'll have this. It's an amazing game, and you can tell that it was originally designed to be played on computer.
This is a military matter, Malchus.
You appeal to the Dark Council for help. Here I am.
Is there a problem here, gentlemen? Just internal politics.
Darth Malgus. I'll just be observing for the time being.
Observing. Before his death, Master Caden ordered an army of Kalish mercenaries to take our only functioning crystal mine. We need the crystal. We need that mine. I want the Republic's Kalish army destroyed. Show the galaxy the price of aligning with the Republic.
When I'm done with the Kalish, no one, alien or human, will dare ally with the Republic.
We know the mission.
The victory on Corellia cost us nearly a tenth of our forces. That's hardly a rate of attrition we can support, is it?
Does this have something to do with the mission?
Yeah, no, it's not a very good look, is it? Darth Malgus is what they should have done with Darth Vader. Like, look, he's got full-on, like, incubation armor and then a breathing mask. That's what Palpatine should have done with Darth Vader if he didn't give him that armor to make it a punishment.
The might of the Empire will prevail, regardless.
The mine is at the end of a crystal cave, with several Republic outposts guarding it. Sure, challenge the Kalish general, and bring me his...
It does look ridiculous. Like, why has he just left his upper lip empty?
You forget your
I can't actually remember why Malgus has the respirator. If anybody does know that, then let me know, because it's completely gone out of my head why he has it. Okay, I guess I don't get my reward.
Guess we're safe for the moment.
Don't mind me, it's just reloading.
What? Are you worried I'll leave you?
Yeah, I don't actually remember off the top of my head why he has the respirator. I think he looks cool though. Like,
Republic forces approaching! Man the defenses!
oh, they're always approaching. That I killed their leader. Yeah, unfortunately, because of like time periods and like things like that, I don't think we'll ever get to see that. But it would be really cool if we could. I think that would be one fight Darth Vader would even struggle with. Oh, I think he'd win. But I think he'd struggle. Hey, you blew up my speeder. Oh, bless me, guys. Vader's. I think Vader is definitely more calculated than Anakin. Awesome.
You're good to go.
Why do we keep... No matter what we do, we have to fight these guys. Like... Oh, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated.
Help me.
It might ping a bit. There we go. It always does that whenever I click something. I used to play ESO all the time with my cousin. I used to have a white tiger character, basically.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Ah, for goodness sake. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, we'll just wait for the probe to load. I'm not going all the way. I'm not going 359 meters away. Or mile, whatever it means. Yeah, I liked the stories. I'm a sucker for a good story in a video game.
This always does the trick.
I remember the last thing I did on ESO was I'd finished the main campaign that I'd got. I bought it with some birthday money, and I ended up in like a armaments castle, and we had to defend the castle. I also remember my character had one of the weirdest names I've ever come up with. I think I named him Shuhan because I couldn't think of anything. and I was just watching, and I just watched Star Wars, so Han was on my mind for Han Solo, and then Shoe popped into my head, and I can't even remember why that was. Yeah, that's a good one.
Nobody better mess with us now.
I think I've still got that on my PS5. And I do think I need to jump back on there.
Hogsy's about to be down, wouldn't you feel it?
I just remember I got it in 2020. Like, I rebought it in 2020 after when we were in COVID. And I remember playing through the whole like DLC thing that I'd bought. And I don't even remember what it was called. Trying to remember. But I know I had to fight like a giant ass vampire at the end.
Eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right. We're losing track of time. Buying things online, and it's not.
I know it took me forever to do. As well. I just remember staying up all night to complete it. And then going to a lecture because I was at university at the time. The next day, absolutely exhausted because I'd played ESO all night. And that. Stretch.
You're good to go.
We were on the run. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can
Right, can we do this? We can do this. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a classic. Got him. Am I even going the right way? Found it.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Where is she? Okay, what the heck? I'm definitely not going back now because I figured out where we need to go. Oh. Man.
How could you ever love me? You don't even see me. I'm hanging around, wasting time, hoping that you drop by. And I don't pretend to know what you want. I don't even know where to start, but I'm willing to try. Even if you push me under, it's only gonna make me stronger. It's only gonna feed my hunger. Say the words, say the words. Even if the tide stops turning, even if the world keeps burning, nothing's gonna
Right, how the heck do we increase our influence? We need to figure that part out so that we can get a better relationship with her. And then when we get a better relationship with her, we'll be able to do more stuff. I think she gets more abilities and things. Like she'll start ranking up.
watching the flames burn higher, setting my world on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, risking it all on you. And I don't pretend to know how you feel. Either you won't or you will, but I gave it a try. Even if you're too blind to see, and even if you
Right, we've got 20 seconds left on the countdown, and then we're gonna get back into this, and we're gonna make a break for that cave while we're invisible. It lasted quite a long time, and to be honest, they call it the Old Republic because of the Sith Wars, and then as soon as the Darth Bane wiped out the Sith, they believed that the Sith Empire was no more. But there's no exact like time period, like chronologic, for how long the Old Republic was around. But we know that it was wiped out after Darth Bane wiped out all the Sith, and that's when they moved from the Old Republic into what's Disney have now dubbed the High Republic. See, before that, it was believed that the Old Republic was all of the Republic up until
All better.
Palpatine took power and stuff. But and stuff like that. But then Disney renamed it the High Republic rather than that, so now they're like two separate things. Right, let's see if we can make it into that cave. The High Republic, it seems to have come, from what I can gather, seems to come into effect like after the fall of the Sith. So when the Jedi think the Sith are all extinct, up until the end of the Clone Wars, when Palpatine creates the Empire and eradicates the Republic in its entirety. Darth Bane thought that the Sith were the way that the Sith Empire is run in this era, so the way that you see it depicted in this game, was ridiculous. And basically, he took it upon himself to annex it. And wipe them out. And he thought it was best to grow in secret so that the Jedi couldn't wipe them out. He wiped out every Sith that he knew of in existence. Because all that they were doing were infighting and weakening their own power. And so he thought that as long as there were only two, a master to control the power and an apprentice to crave it, then there would always be they would always be getting stronger. The problem is the Sith kind of listened to his ideology and didn't at the same time. They kind of agreed with him and didn't, in my opinion. Because you can argue the logistics on whether what Palpatine did with the Inquisitors broke the rule of two or not. But in my humble opinion, as a Star Wars nerd, I think it does. I think Palpatine tries to justify it by saying, well, I don't call them Sith, so I'm not breaking the rule of two. When a matter of fact, yes, he is. Palpatine broke the rule of two in from the very first time we meet Darth Maul, because his master Darth Plagueis was still alive at the point of that point in the movie. So the minute we meet Darth Maul, Palpatine's already broken the rule of two. By the time he takes Anakin as his apprentice, Dooku's already dead, but Dooku's no better than Palpatine because he takes Asajj Ventress as his apprentice. And then she goes on to break the rule of two by taking Savage Opress as her apprentice. And then there's Dooku, there's Grievous as well, yeah.
You're good to go.
So the Sith claim that they are these enlightened beings that have come up with the strategy to grow powerful, but they break their own rules all the time. If Yoda only knew how wrong he actually was when he said it in The Phantom Menace, always two there are, a master and an apprentice. I don't think he would have said it. Alright, let's try and clear this cave out, and then I'll be ending stream for today. Because I've got D&D later for the charity that I do D&D with, so I'll have to go and start getting ready for that soon. I wish these guys would stop blowing me up. It's actually really annoying. Okay. So usually I stream on a Tuesday through the day, 12 while 3, but I moved it because this game is getting an update tomorrow. But I'm thinking of actually moving it to Monday, just because it seems like a lot of people seem to be more active, especially for this game on a Monday. And then the other one is I do 7 while 10 on a Thursday usually. It has varied over the past couple of weeks, mainly last week, but that is because I did a joint stream with another streamer. So my times kind of got a little bit messed up. But usually it's Tuesday and Thursday. But like I said, I am thinking of maybe changing it to Monday, because that does seem better for people. But I do have my schedule up on the Twitch page. As well, so if that does change, it will be reflected on there. It does also currently list a Sunday stream on my schedule, but that was a one-off, and for some reason awesome. So yeah, like I said, it's usually Tuesday, 12 while 3, 12 while 3, and Thursday, 7 while 10. But I am gonna put it to a vote in the Discord on whether we should switch that to a Monday, the Tuesday stream to a Monday. But the Thursday one will stay the same, as Thursday night is the one that works best nighttime wise. But I do like to do a day and a nighttime stream.
You're good to go.
We got him. Steal the credits. Right, we've got this. Right, you weren't even the guy I was looking for. Great. I thought that was the dude we were looking for there, guys. Finally found the guy. Whew. If we could go through this bit without having to deal with these guys, it would be so much quicker. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. GG's.
All better.
I've got enough credits. I'll take the credits off this guy if he's got any, just to make you happy, OJ. There. I took the credits. I'm ignoring you guys. I'm going for the king. Why do they ignore me? Oh.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Yeah, loot goblins be real though. I just don't have one. Looting doesn't bother me that much. Which I know OJ will see as blasphemy. This is why I'm not like that. Oh, I don't know why. I'm not really bothered about picking things up. Unless I have to pick it up for a quest, I'm not bothered. I know it's there for a reason. It just never entices me. I don't get why, but it just doesn't. It doesn't bother me. I know it should, but it just doesn't. Like, I get that makes me weird. I can't help it. Yeah, I'm a blasphemer. This dude is doing my head in. He's healing. No, you're not allowed to heal. I'm taking your credits. Yeah, we're getting this guy. We just got 2 more guys to get, and then we'll have accomplished this. 1 more guy to get after this, sorry. We're so close.
I'm going to haunt you.
That guy's dead. Yeah, I took the thing from the gold light. I took the thing that I could. My inventory's full. I hate these supply masters. They take forever. See, I love God of War. I'm a big God of War fan, so part of me wants to say Kratos. But the part of me that's played a little bit of DMC feels like Kratos would really struggle with Dante. It depends if Kratos can get a hold of a weapon that can actually kill Dante. Because if not, then...
You're good to go.
Okay, guys. I think I killed those guys for nothing. I did. Oh. You know when I want to run away from the enemy, you're supposed to follow me, healer. True, he has got that. He just need a weapon to be able to kill Dante, and he'd be fine. It's without the weapon that I think he'd struggle. Come on, we can do this. We just gotta make it to the objective. I could do the ability to freeze time right now. Oh, okay.
I am a servant of the Emperor.
Your titles mean nothing to me. What do you want with the people of Khalid?
The Empire wants you to join them and fight for them.
You have defeated
So that was a good guy decision.
You are strong. You have issued a challenge. You are knowledgeable. But the Republic pays us well and offers us a place among their people.
The Empire are better warriors than the Republic will ever be.
If it's so, then prove it. The challenge must be honored. I bow to you, war leader of the Kalish. This army is the Empire's to command.
What was that? Does anybody know? Because it's gone. I don't know what I've lost. I'll have to have a look. Back on a different stream. Anyway, I'm gonna call it there, guys. Thank you for being part of today and watching us conquer the Khalik. Hope to see you all in the next one. And like I said, I will be putting a poll up in the Discord to see if we move the Tuesday stream to Mondays in future. Let me know, join the Discord if you haven't already, to let me know your thoughts on whether we should move it to then. And I'll see you in the next one, everybody. Stay nerdy.